Mount Everest, the roof of the world, a place where only the strongest dare tread. Yet among the climbers who reach its slopes, many never descend. Their fates are frozen in mystery, their stories etched in ice. Tonight, we explore 5 deaths on Everest that defy explanation. Disappearances, bodies that remain for decades, and unanswered questions no one can resolve. In 1924, the legendary climber George Mallory and his partner Andrew "Sandy" Irvine made a bold summit bid on the Northeast Ridge route, departing Camp 4 on June 8th. They were last seen alive, moving upward into clouds, roughly 800 vertical feet, 240 meters from the summit. No one knows exactly what happened from there. In 1999, Mallory's body was discovered at an altitude of 8,156 meters, 26,160 ft, face down in snow, partially embedded in rock and ice. The body bore signs of trauma. His right leg was broken, his ribs showed injuries, and there was rope jerk damage around his torso, suggesting he may have been roped to Irvine when the fall occurred. Curiously, no photographic evidence was recovered. The Kodak vest pocket camera that Mallory might have carried was never found. Also puzzling, Mallory's snow goggles were in one of his pockets rather than on his face, suggesting he may have removed them during a descent in darkness. His wife's photo, which he intended to place at the summit, was absent from his clothing. Some consider that a possible clue that he reached the top. Irvine's body was never found, until very recently, when a boot with a sock labeled AC Irvine and a foot were discovered emerging from glacial ice on the central Rongbuk Glacier. That find could shift decades of theories, but it still doesn't answer whether Mallory and Irvine summited before their deaths. Theories abound. Did one of them fall and drag the other? Did sudden weather, a pressure drop, or hypoxia overwhelm them? Some recent climate reconstruction suggests a severe drop in barometric pressure during their climb. Or did mechanical failure, fatigue, or navigational error send them off route? Because Mallory's body was relatively intact, some climbers argue he died close to his fall site, but why the camera is missing and where Irvine fell remain mysteries. On the Northeast Ridge route, about 28,000 feet up, there is a small alcove under a rock overhang. Over the years, a body wearing neon green boots became a grim reference point: green boots. That body is widely believed to be Indian climber Tsewang Paljor, who perished in the 1996 disaster. Years later, in 2006, British climber David Sharp attempted a solo climb. He reportedly abandoned his oxygen gear, hoping to make it to the summit alone. Sharp was found helpless, hypothermic, inside Green Boots' alcove by climber Mark Inglis and party. Inglis contacted base camp for advice, but was instructed to continue safely upward rather than attempt rescue. By the time help reached him hours later, Sharp was dead, frozen in place. His death stirred controversy. Dozens of climbers likely passed by him without helping, raising deep ethical questions about the culture of climbing Everest. Francys Arsentiev, also called Sleeping Beauty, became a tragic figure in Everest lore. In 1998, she attempted a summit without supplemental oxygen, a grueling challenge. During her descent, she became separated from her husband, Vladimir Arsentiev, and other Sherpas. She lost consciousness, but some rescuers later found her alive but immobile, lying on her side, facing upward, unable to move. Because of extreme altitude, oxygen depletion, and risk to the rescuers, she was left there, Over time, climbers tried to cover her body with rocks to shield it. She remained in that position for years until later expeditions moved her out of sight. In 1979, German climber Hannelore Schmatz became the first woman to die on Everest. She summited successfully but was exhausted on the descent. She became trapped at extremely high altitude, possibly near the South Col region. Her final resting position, seated, leaning back against her pack, eyes open, hair drifting in the wind, became infamous among climbers. For years, her body was used as a landmark on the mountain. In 1984, 2 men died trying to recover her remains. Eventually, wind, snow, and shifting ice likely blew her body off the ridge or buried it. Some climbers still report shadows or glimpses in areas she may have been. Because many Everest deaths are poorly documented, you might include a brief mention of other mysterious deaths, bodies never recovered near the summit, names lost in Rainbow Valley, or climbers who vanished without trace. You could also reference that over 300 people have died climbing Everest, and many bodies remain where they fell, too dangerous to retrieve. Everest is a mountain of extremes: oxygen, cold, altitude, a place where human endurance meets stark silence. Many deaths on its slopes remain unresolved, fragments of story frozen in time. Some bodies lie where they fell, some mysteries will never be solved. But these deaths remind us, when you climb above the clouds, sometimes the mountain decides who stays behind.